everybody, it is your girl Tiara Griffin, and we are back again with another video. Woo, 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 woo. I am your girl Tiara Griffin. If you don't know, now you know. I am your life builder. I am here to help you tear up, build up so that you can live it up. I am here to help you create the life that you love while remaining totally submitted unto Jesus Christ. And today I have a special guest with me, my friend, my boo, my bae, Shakiya from Purity Vanity. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey y'all, my name is Shakiya. Like Tiara said, I have a channel here on YouTube called Purity Vanity, where we discuss faith, all things beauty, and lifestyle. So definitely check it out.
Right, we are polar opposites.
Yeah.
I am the rah-rah, and she's like the, yes guys, here I am.
Yes.
Mellow out.
Yes.
So today, we do balance. Like,
each other.
you're going to really enjoy this video today.
you will.
So what we're going to do today is talk about 10 things that we've learned in our singleness. Now, how many of you have been single? Because you all been single before you even got married. If you're watching this channel, you've been single before. How many of you are single now? It's been about 5 years, right?
Yeah.
If you have not watched our previous videos, I'm going to link her in the description.
Yes.
And go back and watch Sex is Not an Option, and you'll see our story and how we've evolved. But 10 things that we've learned in our singleness. So this is going to be exciting. Sit back and buckle up and let's take this ride.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to alternate between the two of us because we do have 10 tips. She has 5 amazing ones, and I feel like they're amazing as well. So we're going to do it like this, alternate, one by one. Okay. So my first one is waiting on God is way better than going out and trying to make relationships happen myself and not getting better or not getting half of what He has for me. The benefits of waiting, God's way, God's way, God results. Your way, your results. Our results are very limited, so I learned the benefits of waiting on God.
Yes, that is so important. Waiting on God's best and doing it His way.
Yes.
I definitely
Been there,
agree.
done that, got receipts, can't take it back.
Ooh. That was good.
Okay.
That was good.
Okay.
One of the tips I have is what's worth having is worth waiting for.
That is a really good one.
So if something that you really want and you go through the trenches to get it and you put in the work to get it, when you get it, it's like, wow, this was all worth it. It was worth the wait.
Right.
So I know that it'll be worth the wait.
In the meantime, it doesn't feel like it's worth the wait.
Yeah.
But when it gets to the end, you're going to be like, dang, that was worth the wait.
Yeah.
Our first ones were kind of like simultaneous. Okay, God. Okay. Let God speak.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, number 2, the value of time. This is a good one. So get your notepads and stuff out, okay? I don't have to reclaim my time if I never waste it. Being a better steward of my time. Selective according to the Word of God as my template and not my past experiences.
Wow.
Are they perspective or a prototype?
Whoa.
Whoa. Listen.
Prototypes.
Speaking from experience, those counterfeits, those ones
They are
that...
real. They are real.
And the counterfeits always come before the real thing.
Yes.
So don't get confused between your prototype and your perspective. Your perspective is much investment. This is the one that God definitely has for you. Your prototype is something that you gathered from your past experiences and you culminated this one person, and it may work because prototypes don't always work. But if you have the perspective that God has for you, it'll work every time.
And just having discernment. That's
I
the
think
key.
that's one of mine.
Okay, well,
Just hold on. But discernment is definitely key in doing godly relationships because we don't date the same way we used to date.
It's not the same.
No, not in the world.
It's
not in the world.
Totally different.
Thank you, Jesus, for change.
Yes.
My God.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
One lesson that I learned that there's beauty in not having distractions.
Yes. Yes.
Like when you're in your singleness and you don't have any distractions, you know your worth. You won't entertain those guys you used to entertain.
Clowns.
Because I used to entertain guys just to have someone to talk to.
Preach, honey. Those placeholders.
Yeah.
There's something.
I'm hungry.
Listen, I had somebody in college.
Girl.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
that girl. I'm not anymore, but
my friends used to call me a food thought. Because let me explain. Because when I was hungry, I would call somebody, and if you wouldn't bring me food, I wouldn't talk to you no more.
So yeah.
But
there's beauty in not having distractions.
Yeah.
You get to focus on what God wants you to focus on, and not have just everybody just kind of just clouding your vision.
Right. Your singleness is a passport, and it's not a prison.
Ooh.
So that goes perfectly with that one. Because if you're always trying to escape from something, that says a lot about you.
Yeah.
Patience is not one of the ones that I have, but Patience is definitely something
You
I've
definitely learn
learned.
about patience and how you're not patient
Right.
in your singleness. Like, you'll definitely see, okay, this is the fruit of the spirit I need to work on.
Especially when all your friends, let's just be real, are getting married around you,
Yeah.
and different people that you don't know, and you see it on social media, it'll make you think like,
Yeah.
did I miss it? Am I ever going to get married? You start asking those questions and getting anxious, and anxiety is not a fruit of the spirit. But patience, once you see yourself getting very impatient and very anxious, you need to go check that fruit.
Yeah.
That the root of that tree, something is going wrong. And you need to water it with the word of God.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Sorry, I expound. I'm sorry.
It's wonderful. That's why we're here.
Yeah, we balance.
Yes.
Get you some godly friends. That's what I learned in my singleness too. It's not one of the numbers, but godly friends would definitely help you.
That is very important to
in
help
your journey.
you. Yes.
Yes, because she helped me a lot.
Likewise.
Yes, ma'am.
Likewise.
Okay, so my number 3. This is the peak. We're at the top of the mountain right here. So I was created for more than just a relationship. I was created on purpose to serve a purpose in the earth for God's purpose. If I never marry, I can still have an amazing life.
So true.
Yes.
Because getting married is not the end all be all.
It is the icing on the cake.
It is. One thing I learned is to be the best daughter. The best daughter of God.
Yes.
And that'll filter into me being the best wife, the best mother, the best friend.
It's simultaneous.
Yeah.
I remember God told me, while you're working on your relationship with me, it's automatically making you a better wife for your husband. You have to be a wife to God first before you can be a wife to a man, because you're a wife now.
Yeah.
You're a wife already. So
if you're submitted underneath God, then you'll be able to submit underneath a man.
Because if you can't submit to God, you definitely ain't submitting to no man.
Ooh.
Check yourself. Check. Okay. Number 3.
Okay, for me, I'm a worthy treasure, and a treasure is to be found.
Listen.
Yes, ladies, you are a treasure.
Very special.
Please realize that you are a treasure, and a treasure doesn't put itself out there to be just found. It's searched, it's sought after.
Yes.
You know, like someone who wants to find a treasure, they look for it.
Look for you.
They look
let
for
a
it.
man look for you. Let a man have to work for you, and don't just throw yourself at him, because God also told me, even if a treasure is hidden, the value of the treasure doesn't change. And I asked God to hide me, and when I asked him, I didn't understand what I was asking. He hid me. Like, I was like, I must not be cute no more, because nobody was talking to me for a minute.
Yeah. Be careful what you ask for.
Definitely.
But it's all in, it has its perks.
Right. It does.
Yes, definitely, be careful what you ask for, but God knows what he's doing. So definitely just trust him in that, because when we're hidden, you don't have to have those distractions.
I'm about to say, it goes back to your not having any distractions.
So,
because you don't have to talk to some guy. Like, at one point, I found value in guys texting me and people always talking to me.
Me too.
But God was like, that's not your value. Your value doesn't come from somebody being there or someone texting. Your value comes from me.
True.
And in your singleness, you will learn that. Your value comes from God. Like, let God give you your value. Because once you let him give you your value, then you will find the worth in waiting.
That's so true.
They're all connecting.
So no, ladies, you are a treasure.
You are a treasure. So special to God.
Yes. So don't go chasing after a man.
That's my number 4. Let's go to number 4. Because treasures don't run.
They don't.
They stay in place. Okay, listen, I'm appreciate you. Treasures stay in place. They don't get up to go find the one that's hunting. The hunter comes to find the treasure. Okay, my God. Number 4. I don't have to wait on a man. I am enough. I don't have to play second or chase a man that wants to be with me, because if I'm chasing him, then he's running, and our worlds are out of order. If it's for me, I don't have to run behind it.
Been there, done that.
What? I done chased plenty. And it's so funny, because like I said in my last video, the roller coaster. We want what doesn't want us, but what wants us, we don't want. It's so crazy. I don't because we don't understand our value. We don't know our value, because we understood the one that's chasing us is what God really wants for us and what we're really worth. You wouldn't be chasing behind him, because you would know your value. Because queens don't come off their throne to address any peasants.
They don't.
And when you start running, your crown fall off. I remember you told me that, and I was just like, oh my God. You told me that. I was like, okay, God.
Yes, and men, they realize when a woman is thirsty.
Yeah, they smell
they
blood.
Can pick it up like that. So they're like, okay, yeah, she's thirsty. So let me go ahead and play games with her. But when you set those standards, they know, okay, either I'm gonna come to her level, or I'm just gonna be like,
And that's a good way to wean those guys out too. Because if they're not willing to jump up to
You'll
meet
be
your
like,
standards, they
yeah,
ain't
yeah.
it. And it's okay when
I
people
was
walk
about to
away
say, it's
from
okay.
you.
It is okay.
It is okay. Like, I heard a story about this girl who was engaged, or they were engaged for like 5 years, something like that. And he ended up leaving, and she was sad about it. And it was Heather Lindsay.
Oh,
and she was like, be thankful that he left now and not then. Like, God is trying to protect you, but we don't always see rejection as God's protection. We see it as, oh, God's being mean, or this happened to me. And once a man leaves, please do not go chase behind him. Do not run behind him, because it may be a good thing why he's leaving. And sometimes he doesn't know. He doesn't have an answer to why he's leaving. He just knows there's been some kind of separation, and God sometimes plants those in somebody's heart because you want the very best God has for you.
You do.
You do not want to settle.
So the one that's for you, he will step up to the standard if he's not already on your level.
Yeah.
And he will show you, okay,
Yeah.
I gotta do this to get her.
Yeah.
He would do
And
it.
he's not doing anything less than that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is your number 4?
This is my number 4. One lesson I learned was I'm surrounded by love. And romantic love is great, but until we realize that God, of course, is love and that he's showering us with his love every day.
Yeah.
And then we have other people that will give us love, like our family and friends. We can't forget about them because those are important people in our lives too.
Right.
And then also self-love. You cannot
Absolutely.
expect someone else to love you if you don't love yourself.
You won't even know what it is if you don't love yourself.
You won't recognize it.
And if you don't love God, you're not going to recognize the love that's coming at you, because you're going to call it love, but it's not really love.
Yeah.
But also, I read something back in the day in my singleness. I started reading a lot, so really invest in yourself during this time. But be a good steward over those that are in your life now, because if he does send you a husband and kids, you take care of the family that you have now. Why would he bless you with something more when you don't take care of what you already have?
So true. So true.
Definitely learned that in my singleness.
Yes.
Okay, number 5. I learned a lot. Like, I'm really grateful for my singleness. I didn't know how much I would appreciate it until I'd been in it for a while, and I stopped being angry that I was upset. Stopped being angry that I was upset. Stopped being angry that I was single until I embraced, okay, this is where I am, and God's not moving me because I want to move out of it. You'll start to be content in it, because you can't be content in your singleness.
Yes.
Okay.
Finally got there. Finally. A couple of years.
It took a couple years. I haven't had a boyfriend in 5 years, and I've been abstinent for 2. I learned this within the last 2 years.
Yeah, I would say I can like confidently say I've been content. It's been like a year and a half, and I've been single almost 5 years.
You want to know what else? I'm gonna just spice in here really quickly.
Just a little bit.
I stopped focusing on getting married, and I started focusing on purpose. Like, when I first became, content about being quote unquote single, I started listening to videos about singleness. There was a lot of singleness videos. Now I'd be like, I don't want to watch that. I want to know what my purpose is, how I can develop my purpose and my gifts. Because if you don't even know what those are when a man does come, y'all not going to be able to mesh well, because only a man that's for you will be able to be confident in the things that God is calling you to do. Period, point blank. But if you don't know your purpose, you will attract anything. And you could be unequally yoked in your purpose too. Christians and unequally yoked. Been there, done that. Oh, I like how we ended that just now. Okay, number 5. Mine's are a little bit longer because I didn't want to explain a lot, but we're still explaining, but it's okay. Number 5, I learned discernment. I learned the value of taking my time instead of rushing into relationships, because I was excited about the idea of marriage regardless of who was offering it. Oh my God. So I learned that by maintaining my purity, discernment was very clear. Those signs we would have overlooked or not seen if we had had sex. My vision is much clearer, and I'm not blinded by lust.
Wow.
That's what I learned in my singleness. That's the top.
Wow.
Top.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I like what we were saying earlier. I think if we don't know our purpose and we're so focused on marriage, we could make it an idol.
I did.
And I know I
idol.
did. That was like my main focus. Getting a husband, having, and if you think about it, social media, it portrays like, okay, if I'm not married by this age, what am I doing with my life?
Right.
But that's that's so false. Like, we cannot get caught up in what the internet is showing us. We're just seeing highlight reels of people's lives.
And you don't know what they did to get married. You don't know if he pulled her arm to get married or if she manipulated him. We do not know the story. But I know I had marriage as an idol. Yeah. I really wanted it, but I had to understand that marriage is just the icing and the cherry on the top. Yeah. Like, your life is so fulfilled without a husband. Like, I'm at the place now, and it's when I told God, if I never get married, I'll be okay. because my purpose, like he didn't make you to get married. He made you to fulfill a purpose, and he wants to bring you together with someone so that you can fulfill his purpose with a companion. But if you never get married, until you say, okay, God, seriously, until you say, God, I'm okay if I never get married, then he will start opening up things for you. And that's what he did for me. I said it one day, and then all these prophecies about my husband was coming. I was just like, oh, okay, cool. But let me tell you, even when I started getting them, I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I'm still purpose. I'm purpose-minded.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's how you know you're content, is when, like, you're not seeking to get more information about your husband or words about your husband or whatever. You're just like, okay, well, when he comes, he comes. Like, it'll be great. It'll be God's timing. It's not like, okay, you know, who's that? Right.
I'm about to go to this mall. Is he
going to be there?
Nah, live your life, honey. Live your life.
Please.
Create an attractive. Remember I told you that. Create the life that you love. Like, that's what my channel is all about. Creating the life that you love so that you can be totally submitted to Christ and you can have an amazing life. Like, travel, go out with your friends, go do things that you've never done. Because the question that I used to ask myself is, if I got married today, what would change? And if I would say stuff like, oh, I would travel more. No, you that's not it. Travel now with your girlfriends. Go across the country so when your husband comes, you have something to talk about. Because if he asks you, what have you been doing this whole time? Oh, waiting for you.
Okay, so you didn't have a life
before me?
So I wouldn't want...
Not a man of God. He's not. He's going to be like, nah.
Like, okay, she just has one thing on her mind, marriage.
And you're going to be trying to pull him to go across the world with you. And he's like, I've already done that. Because these men are living. Men they're not as concerned about marriage as we are. Like, they're like chilling. They're like, when she comes, she comes. But he's also, I remember somebody told me, in your singleness, he may be looking at you now. Y'all may be Facebook friends. And what are you presenting on Facebook? What does your Facebook show about you? Does it show that you just like every status you put up is, oh, my future husband? He's like running from you because men don't like stuff like that.
Because then you'll be like clingy.
Yeah, you'll be real sick. I was clingy. I was clingy because I didn't have a life. My life was revolved around this guy, and I now understand what they were saying then. Then I was offended, but now I'm just like, you're right. I was freaking crazy.
Growth, and that brings me to my last lesson. Development is major key. Like, your personal growth is so important. Yeah. And like, just self-care and just really get to learn yourself, because we have someone else in the picture. You're so focused on them. Yeah. And just like, oh, learning about them, what their dislikes are. But until you really know who you are, you're not going to be able to mesh well with someone that God has for you, because you're so worried about, okay, let me, do this. But if you know, okay, this is who I am, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses. So when he comes along and, like, you're weak in one area, he's strong, like, okay, God, I see what you're doing. Like, I see what you're doing, God. Okay. So there'll be, like, confirmation on that level, too.
Right. But if you don't take care of yourself, what I'm hearing in my spirit is any man that comes along, because women are nurturers by nature. Yeah. So if you don't take care of yourself, when a man comes in, you will automatically neglect yourself even further to make him all that he's supposed to be. And that's the right thing to do, because that's how God created us. But you want to be focused on yourself right now, becoming the best version of you. So when a man comes, you can like discernment again. Yeah. Is this something that I need to invest in? Is he going to require more out of me than I can give him? Yeah. And do not pour from an empty cup. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're pouring from an empty cup, you're going to be angry. Yeah. Life is just going to be unfulfilling for you. But take care of you first. Yeah. Like, girl,
this is your time to be selfish. I know, like, as Christians, kind of like, oh, but like, really, like, learn yourself. Yes. And, like, dig deep, not surface level, like, oh, this is what I like, this is what I like to do. No, like, really dig
Why
deep.
Why am I the way that I am?
Yes.
Why am I always angry?
Yes.
Why, when someone does this, do I get upset? Is it because my father was in my life? Deal with those things now, because baggage is the only issue when you're going somewhere. When God told me that, I was like, wow. Okay, get rid of the baggage now. You don't want to go into a new relationship with old baggage. When people want to go somewhere fancy and they're going somewhere that they've never been before, they go buy new luggage. Yeah. Get you some new luggage and pack it with all the things that God has created and called you to be. Pack it with grace, mercy, kindness, all the things that's going to make your next relationship successful. But if you're so worried about why I'm still single, when God does try to transition you to marriage, you're going to be unprepared. And you're going to be trying to build a storehouse to put all the fruits in, and it's going to go spoiled. Why? Because you weren't prepared to go to the next season.
And that just shows, like, your foundation. Because when you get to a relationship, everything is just magnified. So if you're selfish, if you're, like, a person That's angry, all that's going to be magnified because that person's going to be on their nerves.
People think marriage is like a cure. Like it's going to cure all your issues. Marriage magnifies your issues, your insecurities, your flaws, everything about you that you do not like. He is going to call it out. Why? Because marriage doesn't come to make you happy. It comes to make you holy. It comes to make you better. So if you don't want to do it now, like sometimes people get married, you be like, why did they get married so early? Sometimes God will put them together early so that they can grow up. And this is the only way he knows that they will grow. But that don't have to be your story. Like you can grow now. Like I said, get you some godly friends who will be thorns in your flesh to the point where they make you better. Improve you, but really do the deep soul searching now while you're single, while you have the time to be your own mirror. Like I know sometimes when I don't feel pretty, I don't want to be in someone else's face and they can see my flaws. I want to be able to be in my own mirror, see my flaws and work them out. So when I come out, it's a different feeling, because if you don't feel pretty, you're not going to act pretty, you're not going to be pretty. It's just things you learn in your singleness. Like singleness is great.
Out even more, and
it does.
Like we both have friends in our circle that are married and that are engaged in relationships, and we ask them questions. If you have married friends, ask them real questions. Tell them to be real with you. And our friends, thank God, are real with us. Right. They don't sugarcoat everything. They tell us, okay, enjoy your singleness. Why you have it? I used to get mad at that statement. It's like, why you married though? Why are you telling me that? But it's really for your best interest. You have another person to worry about, another person's time. Like you have to consult with another person
about what you want to do,
you
what
can't
you
just
can
up
wait.
And leave,
no more.
Now, if we wanted to, we can go.
I'm about to go somewhere after this.
I mean, it's nothing.
But married, you have to consult someone else.
So really take this time and see it as a gift. Yes. I always like to say singleness is a gift and marriage is a gift. It is. They're both given. Not one is better than the other. No. It's whatever season that you are in. And this is really, honestly, the season for marriages. But if you're not ready, you can't expect God to give you something he can't trust you with. Yep. And don't rush it. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Don't be anxious, because the Bible says be anxious for nothing. Nothing. Yep. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoyed this topic. We'll do this more often. If you like this, comment below and be like, yo, we want more. Like, tell me more, please, because this is great. We need these healthy discussions among our single friends, because one thing that we're going to do is keep it real with you, because when I was growing up, I really didn't have, my mom tried to talk to me, but I didn't want to hear it. And I would be able to better relate to someone who was my age and in the same situation, in the same boat I was in. But listen, this is healthy dialogue to really help one another and tell you the truth. You need the truth. Like, the truth is what's going to set you free. You really do. Yes. The bondage of, I want a husband. Girl, enjoy your life. Because we met kind of in that type of situation, and then like God just opened up our purposes, and like now we're like, okay, when he comes, it'll be great. Yeah, when I least expect it, and I want it to be like that. That's how I want it to be. I don't want to be out there looking for it. Yes, and I want God's way, God results. Our way, our results. So, is that all, friend? That is all. You got amped just now, honey. Okay, so I'm here for it, okay? So that is the video for today. I really hope that you enjoyed. Please comment below. Give me more. Tell me some of the tips that you learned or anything that you learned in your singleness. And definitely subscribe to my friend's channel, Purity Vanity. She will be linked below. Go ahead and tap her bell. We come from two different perspectives, but it's all God and it's all good. And I'm just so glad that you joined us today. Yes, I'm excited. Some great things going on. I'm so excited what God's going to do for the kingdom. Yes. Well, in the kingdom on YouTube. Through us. Yeah. So through us and us coming together. So get ready for this Kingdom YouTube takeover. We're releasing that right now. Yes. That's happening. Yes. That is happening. So stay tuned for what? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, guys, and definitely share this video with your friends. Please share. Your single friends, those who may be in relationships and don't really who've been struggling, those who may be anxious in their singleness. Just tell them, don't even give them too much. Just like, watch this. Watch it together. And definitely, like she said, subscribe to our channel. We take it over the kingdom. We really want to help you live the best life and be fulfilled in your journey, in your life, because there's so much, it's so much more than what you could ever imagine. So let God open up these doors for you. And come back again next week. Yes. Stay tuned. Bye, guys.